Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Lineage Break podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is the Glue. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Cam.
With us is the first ever Grand Archive World Champion.
Wow.
There we go. He's doing the pose. We get him do the
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Glenn, welcome to the show. With us is also Glenn's friend, Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hello, I'm just here to make sure that Glenn does well. That's pretty much it.
Making sure he doesn't say anything too
raunchy
or tarnish his reputation, you know. But yeah, we're super happy to have you, Creative Shock boys, now on the show. Lime hasn't been putting out very much Creative Shock stuff, but
look, hopefully we're coming back. And
true.
I would like to say this is the second time we've done a collab now. This is becoming like a thing.
Oh yeah, second time ever or this weekend?
This is the second time.
With us, yeah. Oh yeah,
Last time
for sure.
It's becoming like a thing. Like we need to. You guys have to come to Australia and do a collab next. I've come here twice now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I have a sneaking suspicion, Jason. I think you make a lot more money than I do.
Maybe I don't. I just make bad decisions. You don't know.
Fair. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the World Championship. Some people that played in less prestigious but also important events this weekend. As we just wrapped up, right? We're filming this now on Monday. The World Championship is over. Glenn, how do you feel, Glenn?
It still feels like a bit of a dream, to be honest. I'm just going to wake up and has to play in the semifinals again, you know? It's all just been a bit of a blur. Yesterday was just mental. I just don't know how to describe it still.
Not gonna lie, he was dead to the world when I went and woke him up.
Yeah,
it looked like he was not gonna wake up. So he must have been very tired. I banged on the door. I'm like, "Come do the podcast. Let's go." So he must have needed a lot of rest. But you were up pretty late, weren't you? Partying with everyone.
Nah, not really even partying. Like my phone just exploded, and Jason told me not to reply to anyone. But I sort of did.
I did notice, like, I started seeing, like, Glenn's replied to the comment. I'm like, if you get stuck in that loop, you're just going to be replying to comments forever.
Right.
So you've just got to, as, like, your friend, just focus on your Vegas trip and you can deal with that stuff later, right?
We see the duality of man. Jason's like, oh, people are messaging me. I don't give a shit. And Glenn's like, very appreciative. And,
Thank you all very much.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, it was obviously great competitors all throughout, all 16 of you. But Glenn, we're really happy that you won. We think that you're such a great, like, wholesome image for the game. You know, just the sweetest guy. So we're really glad that you got there.
Thank you.
I do have a question though. How many fireballs are in your deck?
It's just 4.
I don't believe it.
How many dungeon guides?
Just 4 as well.
Okay. We were watching and I was like, I can't believe you drew your dungeon guide. Oh, and he drew the fireball. Wild.
Yeah, that first game, drawing 4 fireballs, that was
insane.
Yeah.
That was mental. That was,
Did you draw 2 of 2 Blanches and 3 of 3 Incarnates as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have scooped.
So a little bit about that. So in the Airbnb when we were training, Glenn, as you know, Glenn is a very wholesome person, and we were testing, and randomly he was versing our friend Joseph Legitbit from New Zealand as well, and he said, "I've high rolled. You should scoop." Hearing those words come out of this man's mouth, I was like in awe. I was like, "What did he just say?" He went to lose that game, which is even better.
Perfect.
That's fantastic.
But for the whole trip, everything that happens, even not in Grand Archive, I'm like, high roll, should have scooped. He high rolled, we should have scooped. So the whole trip has had that quote in it, which has been great.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Good you got that one in.
Had to get it.
Do you feel as though the matchups, because like the matchups were not good for you, like you were in rough matchups, do you think that you played to a T what you needed to make them as close as they could be for you though, or do you think you just high rolled in general?
Well, with the Ryan matchup, you've really got to go. And Sean's list runs like, so I had no like board clear, so I'm literally just putting down allies and just trying to kill them. And then with the 3 hasties in the first game, I was just able to draw into my kill cards, my kill combo, and then get there. Yeah. And then second game it was pretty much the same. Didn't get as much of the discard, the hasties, but the 2 flame runes were putting on so much pressure. It was quite crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that a lot of people discount when they talk about that Fire Merlin deck, that you can just put those allies on the board and really start making a dent, especially in the Rye deck where he has very little interaction. Especially Sean's list was very like disrespectful of allies. He's not running any angers. I think no focus flames. I don't even think he was playing Sparklight. Like nothing to remove allies. So you know.
It was very balls to the wall to put it, like 4 Gloam Spire, 4 increasing danger.
Right.
That is crazy off the get-go.
And he did say prior to that match, or all the matches, that even if he sees 3 increasing turn 1, he's playing 3 increasing.
Right.
So he had the balls to the wall mentality. Like personally, I still say Sean is the best player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He is a great player. He can remember everything when it comes to GA.
Right.
We were at dinner with him the other night, and while we were waiting for the bill, he's like, "Let's play Jeopardy." How many wind floats in the game? And he could name them all off the top of his head.
Oh, wow.
That's wild.
So, yeah, he is amazing when it comes to GA. And I'm sure he's going to try and win it back, something back off you at some point. So, it's exciting.
Yeah, I look forward to it. He's an amazing player, and I can't wait to face him again.
Yeah, I saw that game that he played before your match, his semifinals game with that like 200 damage something Rye turn. I got to catch him after the game, and to hear him talk about, like, I would assume most people in that situation were like, yeah, everything just like lined up really well. He's like, yeah, I knew exactly what my outs were, and I counted my deck to know exactly where I had put this last peer into mana, which was my out to do 300 damage that turn. So I knew I had it as soon as I saw my hand. I was like,
see, I play Rye.
Jesus.
I play Rye, and I'm like, I'm not sure what's coming, but I'm just hoping it's something good. Like, I can't think that far ahead.
I hope I got the blast.
Yeah, same with Arasana. It's like Arasana's like, oh, I think I put in the right order. We'll
Right.
see how we go, right?
yeah, I'm terrified if Sean starts to touch Arizona, because I'll never have a hope ever again. So before we talk about Jason's also very good performance this weekend, jokes aside,
Losing, not making day
losing. Let's talk about that. I mean, you guys tested for the World Championships together. Who else did you test with? How did you guys settle on the decks that you decided to play?
To be honest with you, we probably didn't actually test with many others, did we? We kind of tested with each other mainly, just because a lot of people have been busy. It's the middle of the year.
Yeah.
I obviously tested with Yap. The thing with Yap, though, is I always lose to him, so like hits my confidence. I can't beat that man.
Sure.
So we tested a lot together in the lead up. I tested with Yap. I made Glenn hate Demon's Aim very quickly in testing.
Yeah, we do not like Demon's Aim. That card is busted.
Yeah.
I played my first Demon's Aim on him. He had a DR and 2 intercept and taunt out, and I killed him that game. And he's like, "You're gonna win Worlds," and then you won Worlds, so you jinxed it. But no, so like we did a fair bit of training. We weren't going too hard though. It was like the end of the set, so it's like I was on the border of burnout. I was kind of over Luxem Xander at that point, and Water Allies as a Diana player. So we didn't like go too hard, to be honest. We were playing when we can. But then flying over here, we did a bit of testing in the Airbnb. My wife Amy beat everyone under the house.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
with Wind Allies deck with no GCR. Like you couldn't beat it, I couldn't beat it, Joseph couldn't beat it. It was ridiculous. So.
Yeah, like Wind Allies is so strong right now, and it just needs to be recognized. Like that is absolutely busted. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So and into the Airbnb, we kind of stopped playing the last few days to kind of just relax. Going into the event as Diana, the spread looked good. Luckily got to beat the world champ. So
right.
I'm taking that.
How much did Glenn pay you to take the fall, put him into the submarine bracket?
I can't tell you that one. That one's a secret. But no, that's at least now I have a joke to like hang over him and every podcast for the next year.
Yeah, that is correct.
I'll be like, "You're the world champ, but I beat the world champ."
Right.
But yeah, so it was a good spread for me, good matchups. I think I was favored into Rye, but I think I was overconfident with it. It wasn't as favored as I thought it was. It's not just straight easy. Like I versed a lot of Wind Ryes that were like, it was just I won the game. But Fire Rye is a lot harder because like if they do time the peaceful, I have to kill them the next turn or I lose because they can't just pop off.
Right.
And there were some points like in Caven's game, peaceful perfectly. We both misplayed actually at one point, but we like equally misplayed. So he ended up getting that one. But in the Rye games, it was like I had to push a Mind Break at them, and if they have Spell Shield, they have it. Like you can't just hold and wait,
right?
Because they're just going to kill me anyway. I don't have Safeguard or anything like that. So yeah, sadly did not make day 2. I did go 3-4. I was 11th, so if I could get one more win, I could have made it to day 2. But then day 2, my first opponent would have been Alec, like Wind Allies.
Yeah,
and
that's really tough.
He slaughtered me day 1. So yeah, I think Diana was it was a fun, good choice, but I had to dodge the allies or I'm instantly out. So
Yeah, I mean, something that we saw throughout the weekend, and that was a prevailing opinion as well. Like, we saw your list, and, me and the rest of the coverage team were going over everybody's list on Thursday night, and we're like, oh, well, surely Lime's going, 7-0. He's so well positioned in this room. There's so many of these, slow decks like Rye and Merlin that he can sort of prey on. We've even seen that with stuff like Eason's run with Luxem. He had some really tough matchups that, he was just able to overcome. And, of course, Glen, we were rooting for you, but like everybody, even Lime said when he sat down when we were waiting to watch your game, he was like, I love Glen, but I just told him he's going to get slaughtered, because it's a matchup that's just
rough. Like,
not
Sean
favored him.
versed Wilson. Love Wilson, but
destroyed
it
him
was
in
over
like 20 minutes. Yeah,
and
it's insane.
Sure, it wasn't hybrid, but hybrid's worse into Rye.
Yeah, it's actually worse.
So how does Wilson get destroyed in 20 minutes, but then you just draw like a million fireballs somehow? I don't know.
So yeah, Glenn, what made you decide to play Merlin this weekend? Was it like a comfort pick, or did you think it was like well positioned into what you assumed people were going to play?
Oh,
He only plays Merlin.
yeah, okay. Like, it's not that I only play Merlin. I do have some other, I guess, decks that I do enjoy to play.
Sure.
But Merlin's the only one that I've actually taken to a competitive event.
Sure, of course.
And my version of Merlin's a lot different to other versions.
Mhm.
You see me run like Tether and like Purge. I'm running more like sort of control style.
Sure.
So I'm very comfortable on that style of Merlin. So I decided to just play that and see how it goes. Found out there was 5 Ryes and actually freaked out.
Right.
He did freak out.
Yeah. But
Like, am I in trouble? Should I change to aggro Xander? I'm like, no, just stick to what you stick to.
yeah. Oh yeah, switching to day 2. Yeah, actually making like day 2 was a bit insane. So I was 1-3 in the Swiss.
Right.
And
Yeah.
You need to be 4-3. So I need to win 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
I was literally the submarine coming in underneath. And couldn't believe that I actually made it there. Then we made to day 2, and finding out that I'm placing against Caben,
Right,
in the
yeah.
first day, I was like, oh, here we go. But I sort of had like a bit of a mind thing going with him, because before the event, he was in the I think it was Jason's room bitching about my deck. He actually did not want to play against me.
Oh, really?
Caven respected the deck. He came up. He said, no, I think he said it to you as well. He said to us as well that the Tethered in Flames was very strong.
Yeah.
Into the Rise, which
Mhm.
it was at the end of the day. So Caben knows what he's talking about. But I think that you going to hybrid made it worse for you, which would have done the same thing it did for me. It just makes that overconfidence maybe that shouldn't be there, especially when you can just draw your non-hybrid stuff anyway, right? So
Yeah, well, I actually expected him to go off the Rye. I didn't think he was going to be playing Rye
Yeah.
in the second day. And then finding out all the Ryes stayed on Rye, I was like, oh my god, here we go. This was like the wrong meta call. But if we did win the top 8, then we'd have a really good matchup into the semifinals, because both of them were going to be allies. We had
Right.
wind allies versus water allies.
Right.
So I was like, okay, we'll play for the bracket, not for the matchup, because I don't know what Caben's going to be on. We'll just see what we can do for that.
if you lose to Caben, you lose to Caben. Is what it is, right? At that point, if you get through, then you've got a real shot. Although I think you got double lucky, because I think water allies is harder than wind allies for you as well, right?
Yeah, water allies are harder than wind allies, but sorry, Marnie, I do think that the wind allies is just a bit stronger than the water.
So funny story, in the Airbnb, Glenn played wind allies for the first time.
Oh, sure.
Never
Yeah.
played it before. And he said, and I quote, "This deck's really fun. Maybe I should play this deck." I really enjoyed playing wind allies. So maybe you can make that next. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I really enjoyed the Luxem Xander as well that we were testing with. That was great.
Yeah. I don't like Luxem Xander.
I think Luxem is pretty well positioned now.
Yeah, the new MRC cards.
Right.
My goodness, Luxem is here to stay. And then they doubled down and made the regional card, or was it national card?
Yeah, I think it's regionals.
Regionals,
It's
yeah.
like Reaver's Assault, yeah.
Yeah, like they may as well just say like, you don't like it? Well, I'm like, fuck you.
Hope you liked this deck, because everyone's going to be playing it.
Yeah, it's just like we've already got enough at locals. My goodness.
Yeah. Oh, man. Incapacitate is just going to make that deck so much unbearable. Like, counter your stuff, pick it back up with 2.
I love Incapacitate. It is such a good card.
Yeah, I'm very excited for all the new Assassin toys.
Yes, I am a Tristan main now. Sorry, Diana. It is what it is. I can't shoot guns if it's going to get redirected to an ominous shadow every turn. So Diana's in a weird spot now.
One of these days, you're gonna stick to somebody and
One
show
day.
a little bit of
One day.
dedication. You know?
One day.
You got to take a page out of Glenn's book.
Right?
He's the Merlin guy now. You know.
Funnily enough, like before, you were telling me last night, you haven't played any other real TCGs before. This is his first
really?
TCG.
Interesting.
Played Legends of Runeterra. I'm a big I was a big
my
Legends of
God.
Runeterra fan.
Me too.
I asked him what deck he played.
Oh,
He's
no.
like, I play Lee Sin and Zoe. I'm like, that's pretty much Merlin in
Yeah,
Legends of
sure,
Runeterra.
yeah.
You literally just one-shot them. I'm like, okay, so you've been a Merlin player before Merlin was even a thing. Makes sense now why you just like, you're so attuned to it.
So let's talk about that a little bit, Glenn. Why is it that you decided to play Grand Archive?
Well, I really did enjoy Legends of Runeterra.
Rest in peace.
But yeah,
in peace.
rest in peace. But when it was starting to go on, it's like sort of downhill. I didn't. I guess I just stopped enjoying it as much as I used to. But I still had that like itch to play. I guess a trading card game, and I wanted something that was like in person, like
Sure.
doing that like over the board, over the board feel table. Yeah. And then I saw like a Facebook ad or something. I was like,
Oh,
this looks
yeah.
pretty cool.
Let's go Facebook ads.
Let's go Facebook. Yeah. And then I heard from one of my mates down in Nelson that he's just started playing this game, and I should pick it up. Had a look at my local area. There's a game store about an hour away, and that just became my local place that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're from New Zealand, right?
Yeah, New Zealand. Yep.
How's the scene out there? I think Jason was saying that it's been a little bit tough for you to get to a local
It's
scene.
huge there. Well, not for him, but like New Zealand in general
Sure.
is huge.
Yeah.
But there was a moment where there was a time where you didn't have locals for a few months because that store you went to actually shut down, didn't it?
Yeah, so it shut down in December, I believe. So we didn't have locals for about 4 months.
Wow.
And during that time,
Elusively.
it was just elusive league, online leagues, TTS online, and just trying to, I guess, get as much practice as I could. Traveling around to all the regionals and stuff so there was still heaps of events going on like outside of my area.
Gotcha.
But just where I was, it was just very stagnant. We've had a store open up recently, Hobby Lords. They have been around for just over a month now. And we've got a really, really good community there already. I think we're up to like 14 players.
Oh, wow,
or something.
awesome.
Wow, that's
great.
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm pretty proud of that, and they're really proud of me too. So thanks, guys.
So we have the world champ here, but also Jason scrubbed out. But
Yes.
you had a pretty good weekend, right?
Yeah, look, I turned like a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
I'm actually on the leaderboard. I'm ranked 12 now. I wouldn't have been ranked.
Oh, wow.
12
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Because I'm only 30 CP off 10th place demigod.
Oh,
Do
wow.
I go to a fun of locals in the next few days?
Ooh,
Try and steal that
that'd be
10th
pretty
spot.
good.
I was
Do you got
looking.
anything for top 10? Or is it just like locked in or
Just
whatever?
ego.
Hey, if
Yeah.
you don't want your scries guys, by the way, you know who to call, right?
Oh,
Just letting you know.
of course. Nah, I went and played. So day one, a few of us didn't obviously think we were going to make it at some points, and we started to figure out that we could potentially, because there was only one game day 2 of Worlds. You could only have to play one game. The Worlds players came together and we're like, we can just make 3v3 teams,
Yeah.
and just that one game that our person has to play, we just have to 2v3. Which you know what, whether that's ethically right or wrong, whether they change in future that you can't play both events,
Sure.
whatever. Not many people had a problem with it so far, but pretty much there was I think 3 teams of 3 that from Worlds that played in the 3v3 as well. I think you had Burner's team, our team. I think you had the Singapore, Southeast Asia players as well.
Yes,
And what they did is they played, and then when one of their players had to play day 2, they just 2v3'd. So we had myself, Duck Hats Christian, the US Nats champ, and we had Caben in our team. Me and Christian were like, we've all got fire cards here. We've got no cards. Who gonna call that's got multiple collections of the sets?
Sure.
So, and Caben was happy to do that as long as we were able to play games without him.
Right. Path of Silver winner, Cable.
Other silver winner, day 2 competitor, second place. He's done a lot of stuff this weekend as well. So he deliberately, I think he got to pick his time slot. He got to pick his time slot day 2. Genius man. Deliberately picked the first time slot, so we missed him round 1, which was good because we versed newer players. We versed newer players in that
Right,
2v3.
of course. Yeah.
So he versed Glen at the start. So we had a 2v3 the first round. We actually got an Australian guy, which is quite funny. He was brand new. He was saying, I hope I don't run into you. And then he comes and he sees us. He's like, oh, no. Which was trying to play Water EK with no dungeon guys. So it was a bit
Oh,
rough.
God.
Yeah. So we had that. But the problem is that Glen took so bloody long in that game over an hour. What was it, an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, probably. That first game was like an hour at least, I feel.
So because of that, we had to play 2 rounds without Caven because Glenn was holding him hostage. He's like he's just trying to like get revenge on me somehow.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know.
Just continue.
Yeah. I was like, okay, Glenn, can you hurry up, please? I need my teammate. So we played round 1 and 2, me and Christian 2v3. Round 1 we won, and round 2 we lost because as soon as I versus Wind Allies and got stomped, and as soon as I lose, we instant lose because Caden's lost already. But yeah, we managed to came back round 3. Glenn gave him to us full time. Sorry, Caden, but he gave us to him full time. Caden came, sat down, he's like, all right, let's win the 3v3 boys, and he focused on the 3v3, and rest is history. We kind of ran it up, ended up being what 4-2 into day 2, and then 5-2, sorry, into day 2, and then we ended up coming second overall, which was amazing. I played Water Eye. A lot of people were surprised, a lot of people were shocked. Water Eye is a good deck. People don't realize that. It's very good interrupting. Luckily, I ran into erupting a lot. Got to mind freeze a lot of people. Very cool stuff. So I think overall it was a good weekend. I had fun. 3v3. The actual 3v3 rulings are very cool, actually, Cam. Like the fact that you can't talk to the person. Like I wouldn't be able to talk to Steve.
Right.
So like me and Caden kept making eye contact, and like we'd stop talking because we don't want to get in trouble to talk to each other. So I have to be like, Christian, how's Caden? Christian, tell Caden to do this because I can't say anything to him. So it was an interesting concept. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, you like the format?
I thought it was cool. Yeah, I think that in future, maybe make it so we can like roll the dice to see where we place people. Not it's just like you're stuck at A, playing A at all times. Because like main deck team won. Main deck team was great. Good fun, chill guys. Like had a laugh. A lot of people were very lovely. But I had to just like we versed them before the finals, and I got like destroyed by Water Allies. And we versed them in the finals, and I got destroyed by Water Allies. So it'd be good to have a chance to like maybe roll a dice to figure out who sits where, or like change the spots, or pick like I pick a spot, they pick a spot, or something like that, right?
Yeah, there's a weird sort of like mind game that goes into it, and I've heard a lot of teams talk about what they expect people to put in the B seat, and then they try to think about that and respond, but then people are responding to that line of thinking. So yeah, it's definitely very strange.
It was very cool. I think that I don't know when they're going to do it again or if it was a success on their part, but we had fun doing it. I think there was 86 teams.
It was the biggest Grand Archive event of all time currently. So
really?
Or at this level, like biggest Ascent level event of all time, yeah.
Oh, because before this it was what, 200 and...
It was like 220 something for Ontario.
Like 264 or something, right?
Yeah, and then, whatever 86 times 3 is a lot. Big number.
Yeah. Also, I was super shocked off topic. The Recollection sold out like halfway through the day.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people were still in their events, and they came and they're like, "Oh, I'm here to get my Recollection." Like, "Oh, it's sold out. You can't come." And they're like, "What the hell?" Like,
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the whole day, I was like, "Oh my god!" I kept on like after every round, I would look over. I'm like, "That line is so long. I'm never gonna get it."
Yeah.
Luckily, I got in, but
thank God my wife went and got it for us because we would have missed out. I think a lot of like big names that like are very passionate players.
So you did get to play in the Recollection. How about you, Glenn?
Recollection.
Did you get a chance? I know you were super busy.
No, myself personally, I just decided to head back to the hotel. And,
That seems reasonable.
He hasn't even looked at any spoilers yet. He's waiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll open my cases and then see the cards for the first time, probably.
that's awesome.
It was a super cool event that we got to see all the cards, but it's so hard for any of us that have even like seen the set to digest it because we don't have any of the like card images, so we just like sort of saw them in passing. We don't even know what most of the CSRs in the set are, so it's very odd that a lot of people are going to be having first experiences on Friday.
The wall of the full set was just swamped all weekend, so it was impossible to even get over there.
Yeah.
It's also like overwhelming just to try and take all the info.
Yeah, I can't do that. They're like, oh, like people have been coming up to me all weekend, like, oh, what do you think of the new Astro cards? I'm like, I don't know, man. I like read them. I can't understand if they're good yet,
Yeah.
I think that event was great though.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of hype. That place was packed.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was
That
like
was
240 people, I
More
think.
than 300 people in there.
Yeah.
Like, because there was people in there that weren't participating as well, right?
Well, I know that it capped out. I had a couple of friends that came up and they were like, yeah, I wanted to play in the event, but they capped it at 240. So it was 240 maximum, and there was still people that wanted to play, which is crazy.
I lost to a Slime King.
Yeah,
I already don't like it.
that card's pretty good.
I lost to Limitless Slime, Crux Slime, and I'm
Crux Slime also.
Yeah.
Oh
Level
god.
3, play Crux Slime for free. It's a 5/5 with like True Sight.
The draws a card, True Sight, Stealth.
you know,
Ascension it. I may as well ascension it while you're at it. Draw
Yeah,
two
yeah.
cards.
I was like up big. I was like, you know, I had 2 Shimmer Cloaks on. I was just putting the pressure. I was like, yeah, I got this. And then he went, I go to 3. I was like, okay. So I play Crux Slime. I get 3 counters. I was like, all right, that's fine. I play a second Crux Slime. I get 2 counters. I was like, all right, this game is over. I don't come back from this one.
Yeah, I think Tristan actually has a rough time. And like, if you play Recollection against Recollection, I think Tristan actually struggles into that Sylvie deck. Because like if you don't stifling trap the slimes early, you don't really do anything. And like the guy that actually beat me, he was like, I think I versed his friend afterwards.
Sure.
And his friend's like, oh yeah, you just versed my friend. You didn't even get a damage on him. I'm like, I'm too busy clearing these like 6/6 slimes nonstop. Of course I can't hit the Sylvie.
Yeah, anytime I tried to stuff, it was trap that just baby green slimed me, and I was like,
Slime shield.
yeah.
I just tried to kill something. Oh, I was slime shielded. It's like, they got arcane spell shield in their normal kit now as well.
Yeah, it's awful.
Well, it's basically just deflecting edge, right? Just works for
And they get a buff counter as well, though, right?
Yeah, they do if they're a slime. Yeah.
God. All those cards have too much text.
Yeah. Look, King Slime. Just no one play that card. It's very strong.
No one play it. It's
I don't
very
li- I
strong.
don't like
I'm not
don't
seeing
like it.
the
I don't
connection
like
here.
It's just so good.
I need to find a way to get around it. I do like the boxes though. The boxes are very neat.
I actually threw mine away.
Excuse me.
I
He
couldn't fit it
threw
in my luggage.
his Tristan box away. Do you hear that, Internet?
Sorry, Grand Archive
For the
devs.
Tristan lovers out there, just remember.
I'll have
that he
another
said
one.
that.
Yeah.
No, trust me. I woke up this morning and was like, he's like, do you want this deck box? I'm like, well, I already have 2. I don't need a third. And he's like, well, I'm throwing it away. And I was like,
Couldn't fit it. I'll get more on Friday. It's fine.
If there's an Arasana recollection at some point,
I'm gonna
You're
throw
You're
it
gonna
away.
throw the box away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
I'll
reasonable.
burn it. I'll
She
burn
might
it in
need
front
it.
of Webway. Just throw it on the ground.
yes, stomp on it.
Yeah, with the cards inside.
See this?
So, speaking of Tristan lovers,
Don't say it. I know where you're going with this.
turns out that Mr. Fairweather fan, Diana player,
Yeah.
Jason May, has abandoned his Ranger roots and is fully devoting himself to the Umbra Assassin.
I went shopping.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think you're the only person probably
In the world.
right now that owns
A full lineage.
Tristan 1, 2, 3 in CSR. Not the CUR yet.
Not the C.
Nah, look. Don't think I can get the COR. We have to wait a little bit now.
Yeah.
Now I've got 1, 2, and 3. It wasn't cheap, obviously. But no, I just want to go back. I just wanted to get them before. Because I think they're actually going to be hard to get. People won't want to get rid of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I wanted to get rid... Like, the people who are getting rid of them now are the ones that obviously don't want them. So everyone I speak to, like, ask him what he's playing next set.
Yeah, that's a great question, Glenn. What are you excited for in MRC? Are you playing
What are
Merlin?
you playing next set?
I'm pretty keen for Tristan. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All
Tristan
right.
would be cool.
So I had to get it before this guy because
I see.
every time I bought something this weekend and he's next to me, he was like eyeing me off like, I'm going to buy it. I'm like, don't you? I'm like, all right, I'm going to... The eyes he's giving me is like, if I don't buy something, he's buying
Yeah, I
it.
mean, Glenn's got that $20,000 paycheck now, right? Like,
Very true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do you have something to show everyone here?
Oh yes,
Potentially.
absolutely.
Ooh.
So I brought over my great Grand Crusader's ring, as you can see right.
I thought it was going to be the apotheosis right in your pocket, and I was going to scream.
Just like unsleeved.
Bam.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow, that is beautiful.
Here, hold on. Do you mind if I
Yeah,
take it, Glenn? I'm going to go
Absolutely.
bring it to the camera. You guys
Just walk
vamp
off with
for
it.
me.
Just walk off with it.
We'll swap the podcast setup for that.
Yeah. It's like, you can just take this.
well,
home.
well,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
well, we're gone. We'll just leave.
Thank you.
And you have something else to show, right?
I do.
We're very sad to hear that
He
the ring
does, in
doesn't
fact,
fit.
have the
Yeah.
apotheosis right.
But it's like
in his
cool.
box.
Like you put it on a
Oh,
necklace.
okay. All right. It's in a box at least.
In a box.
When we saw it the first time, they just
Oh
had it
my
in like a
God.
single sleeve, and I
Yeah.
was violently
Well,
shaking.
people started passing it around. Like once he had it, and everyone's like, "Oh, can I have it? Can I have it?" And like it started getting passed further and further away. I'm like, "Glenn, take it. Let's put it
Yeah,
away.
let's run
because
away, yeah.
this thing needs to stop being passed around throughout the store."
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
This is absolutely beautiful. Like it doesn't even do it justice. Like the images online, like oh my god, this
Dude,
is
look at that cake.
absolutely insane.
So, Glenn, I'm going to also show this to the camera, but I will pose you a question while I walk up there. I've heard from some other Worlds competitors, oh, I'm going to keep it. I'm never going to sell it. How do you feel? What are you doing with this
Big
apotheosis,
question.
right?
Here we go.
Well, I have had like I guess talks about selling it,
But he's not sure. He's on the fence right now. He's woken up this morning and he's like, it is a 1 of 1.
Yeah, well, yeah, 1 of 1. Can play it in my deck. Take it to locals.
Yeah,
It'd be pretty cool.
You're the only one that ever gets to say I'm ascended.
that's true. Or at least the only one that gets this card. You know,
Right.
the
That's
first
true.
ever. They're not
So,
going to do it again.
I don't know. I think I'd keep it.
Well, it's so hard, right?
Right,
Obviously,
right.
You know,
You
we're
know.
not going to press you for prices. That's all private. But like,
$30,000 is a lot of money.
yeah,
That's a lot. That is life.
it's a lot of money.
That's a lot.
So it's hard.
It's got to take some time to digest it. I
Right.
guess,
Yeah.
if I really want to go ahead and sell it for an insane amount of money, because
Right.
anything's for sale, obviously.
Yeah.
With the right price.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for people, you know, like when they did their interviews to be like, oh, yeah, I would never sell it. And then they have it in their hands. They're like, well.
They have it in their hand, then someone's like, "Hey, 50K,"
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
like,
like,
whoa.
Like,
"Whoa!"
even when I was discussing with people before we went to Worlds, I was like, that thing is very sentimental.
Yeah.
25K, I'll say no. But
Mhm.
30K USD, that's
Right.
like 50K AUD. That's like
a lot.
60K, and that's like a house deposit at that.
It's like a
point.
mansion in New Zealand. You know?
Pretty much. Like he can have like butlers and stuff with that. Like,
It's life changing money. Right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Absolutely life changing money.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough choice. But we know there's people out there, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not surprised to hear that you've already been, you know, approached about it, because there are some people that have that life-changing
and
money.
the game's just getting
to
bigger
throw away,
and
you
bigger
know?
as well, right? So
Right.
like, even if he was to hold it now, it's forever going to be the 1 of 1.
Yeah, there's that
Right.
too, right? Like, you know, of course, you know, we're all drinking the Kool-Aid, and we all very much believe in Grand Archive. But, you know, if this game does stand the test of time, imagine you have the first World Championship card, and this is the next Magic the Gathering in 30 years. How much is that card worth, you know? Which is also, like, a real
It's
consideration.
like 5 mansions.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
Oh.
That's like Elon Musk money, you know?
This is that, jeez.
Right.
I had spoken to the group of us, and I was like, "Yeah, that card is like the 1 of 1 ring
Yeah.
in Magic. Like,
Right.
if this game had the years behind it, surely it would sell for probably around the same price."
And better art, too.
Which I also
And
think
better art.
Which I also think is ironic because he's from New Zealand, which
True.
is where Lord of the Rings
Oh,
comes
fair,
from.
fair.
So he's taking the 1 ring back to New Zealand.
So you should throw the Grand Crusaders ring
Into a
lava,
volcano.
the volcano.
I'll go and climb up Mount.
whoa, you're not doing
And,
that.
we'll chuck it in. We'll chuck it in.
Are you gonna get
That
the
would
ring,
be good content.
You're gonna get the ring resized, Glenn? You want to
I
wear it, bling out?
Can
haven't
you
thought
get it
about it.
resized?
I don't know. I don't know how that
Yeah.
works.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you pre-ordered it. I'll probably just wear it on do the.
Oh
Frodo
yeah,
style.
do
Have
the
it-
Frodo thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
have it on
true.
a chain.
Cool.
That's
you get
very
a photo.
cool.
We can make so many memes about
Yeah.
that. That'd be great.
That's actually great.
You just put it into the universe yourself.
And then, like, when you play your GCR, you can like just take your necklace off and chuck it on the table.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'll play my GCR.
Play my GCR.
Surely,
let's go.
surely, weebs say the ruling is the guy who has the Grand Crusaders ring can just have 11 material card deck and can literally just chuck the GCR.
Oh yeah, I allow that.
And draw a card.
I'd allow it. You can have a GCR in your material deck, 12 cards, and get a second one
Oh,
because
you
you
get
can put it
13.
in.
But you have
Yeah.
to
Wow.
on the table.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's world champion for the rest of time now. He gets 2 GCRs.
He gets all the cards, and then all of a sudden he's just got like all these divine relics he pulls out, just like
Oh, yeah.
add on to the board as extra cards. It's like, yep, here's my Grail.
That would be really cool. I wonder if they'll continue that going. Like, it'll take too long for them to catch up because we get so many sets a year, but it would
Yeah.
be great if every year we get like the next divine relic. So
Yeah.
you know,
Speaking
next year
of-
Caben can try to win his Quicksilver Grail that we know he loves so much.
Oh yeah.
Speaking
that's
of,
1 of 5.
Speaking of next set though, like,
Yeah.
did we see what's coming up in the next year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That is
crazy.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Like we're looking at how many ascents now?
I think it's
4
like
in the next.
8 or something in the next like 12 months.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. I haven't even had time to digest it. How are you? So now, professional Grand Archive player is Glenn.
We keep going. Like he tries to sit on the edge of things. I'm like, champ, sit in the middle. He's like, what are you? Sorry,
No.
you're champ now. Come
Yeah.
on.
Are you guys both planning to make the rounds, hit these ascents, do a little bit of traveling? Is that $20,000 going to bring you back to America for some for ascents this year?
planning to skip out on the Taipei just because it's a bit too close.
Sure.
And the Chicago, I'm not too sure about at the moment. Haven't thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll be hanging in Singapore.
We'll be at Singapore.
Awesome.
And it sounds like a lot of people are going to be coming.
Yeah, I think I've converted like 20 people last night to come Singapore.
Mhm.
All by like the domino effect. I was like, well, this guy's coming, and they're like, oh, I like that guy. Yeah, I'll come. I'm like, well, now this guy's coming. Oh, yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, I
But,
think you got our Trevor with that one too.
Yeah,
right.
got the scheme works.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We think with the amount of ascents that are kind of popping up, we think that efficiently we probably need to just do SCA and Oceania.
Right.
Obviously, we probably will come to America for big events, but if you're to go to like Chicago and you go to, I think there was like another one.
There's one in
Francisco or something?
December.
There's one in December,
but we don't know where it is
unannounced.
yet.
Yeah, so if we were to go to those and like not do well, it just hits us too hard. So for
Right.
us to go, I think we could do Oceania, SCA, and still have good points.
Right.
Not to mention, I mean, you should just get like free flights to all these places and get, like to play. To be honest, at this point as world champ, maybe
Yeah.
you should just ask, be like, hey, can I just come play? And then they might just let you come play.
Just reimbursement, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's our plan, I think. But I don't know, you were trying to convince me to go to Chicago. I wasn't saying direct,
Well,
no
you know,
way.
of course we want to see you boys, but I understand, I'm not coming to Singapore. I can't
well,
afford that, right?
If I was to come to Chicago, would you come to the Oceania event?
I would love to, but I'm poor as shit. I don't know what to tell
We
you.
need to get
you
some
know?
sponsors on here.
Yeah,
That's what we
please.
need.
That's, you know,
Yeah.
Let's get some
Fly us
sponsors
out.
involved.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. So, but it's all a
Will
monetary
you be going to
issue.
Chicago, you two?
Yeah,
yeah,
of course,
we'll be in Chicago. We'll be in Toronto
yeah, probably
Nice.
in the December event as
Yeah,
well,
perfect.
wherever that is.
because it's going to be Ascent Boston
Yeah, I'm
finally,
sure.
so we won't have to go far.
Yeah, they're doing really well to spread it out. I think they're doing the right thing. Although people are going to get FOMO, I'm going to get FOMO. It is
Right.
what it is. People are going to try to go all the events. It's going to be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what they're for. I think they're supposed to be so just everyone can get involved.
Right.
But you'll have those people that will try to go to like the whole all 8 events.
Yeah,
That's why I do like the way they've done the Omnidex. Is that it's like your best 5 events. Or 6
right.
Right.
Yeah, 5
So
events.
it's like
Yeah,
as long as I can do well at like
talking to your mic, Jason.
as long as I can do well in like nationals and like a few ascents, it should be good enough than going 8 ascent events, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean the first year it really did feel like that. Like I didn't get a chance to go to Ontario, and I was like devastated, because there was so few events. There was only 3-4 events in that first year, Auckland as well. But yeah, with the new schedule, it looks much more akin to what the larger games do. That you're not expected to go to literally every event because there's one basically every month. And you can only do that if you're exactly Caben Schwartzentruber, who does this for a living, right? But, we get to spread it out a little bit, and everybody gets to go to a couple of large events a year, and then hopefully we all come together at Worlds. You guys think they're going to move Worlds next year? Maybe across the pond?
Do you want to tell them what you asked last night?
Worlds NZ. Worlds NZ, surely.
He said he wants Worlds in New Zealand. He should get to choose.
He gets the choice, right? He is the world champ.
Yeah, I think that would make sense, right?
It'll be nice to defend the title in the home country.
And maybe if they win, they take the ring.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Glenn's just not showing up at that point, though, right?
He's like, oh, not Worlds NZ. Not Worlds NZ.
I know it's here, but I'm busy that week.
Yeah. Something came up, yeah. Well, Glenn, I promise you, if it is in New Zealand, we'll make the trip for that one. All right. Well, we'll
We
be at
will-
Worlds.
Wow,
will-
you heard that's locked in. That's on
There you
camera.
go.
That's
There you
it.
go. That's
we
on
will
camera.
we will make it happen.
Yeah. If it's over there, and I think it'd be good to spread the love, right?
Right.
I understand the games in the U.S. and there's a large market here, but
New Zealand's popping off.
yeah, New Zealand,
Australia's
Taiwan.
struggling. New Zealand is popping. I think you've got they've got double the players that Australia now has.
Oh, wow.
They're blowing up. So New Zealand's doing great.
You guys should move somewhere else.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah, I think because we had 4 regionals this season.
Yeah.
And a couple of them had like 60
Wow,
plus players.
that's
It
great,
was
yeah.
insane.
Wild.
It was very, very large. Like
Yeah.
it was I can't even remember now actually. Like they'll do like a regionals in the store champs right after. So
Right.
it like makes it worth to go out and travel to the
Oh,
the
sure,
city
like a
for it.
weekend sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just becomes a whole weekend at Grand Archive.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah, we also have the other 2 Kiwis that were in Worlds, Marnie and Wilson.
Yeah.
Both own stores in New Zealand.
Yeah, of course.
So they're as world competitors, they're obviously pushing the game. So
Mhm.
they're got a lot of hype around all the stores as well, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to see that Europe's gotten their nationals as well. That was announced.
Yeah.
They're finally going to get
Finally
getting some
on
real
flight.
organized
Wait,
play.
was that announced? That was announced last night.
last
right?
night. Yeah.
So funnily enough, we were with Christian. Obviously, Duckat's had his partner here.
Yeah.
And she said slightly just before she left, before this, so she left yesterday. Oh, I wonder if Grand Archive will come to New York, and we were like, nah, it's not going to come there. It's not happening.
Right.
And it sounds like I didn't even realize it was announced. There you go.
What?
It was manifested, right?
What happened?
You said New York was announced.
No, Europe.
Europe.
Oh, Europe. I thought you said New York.
I wish it was New York.
Even-
I
New
thought that
York?
there
New York
was
is
we got
fine.
a big leak
Oh,
here.
Europe.
You know,
Oh, no.
You've
I
heard
thought you said New York.
something.
Oh, Europe. Yeah.
I
of
wish.
course.
Europe.
I
Yeah.
can't go-
Those other
that's
people.
That's too far away.
Yeah. No, New York. I wish.
Shout out to Clem for coming all the way to World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. Very few Europeans because it's so tough.
Yeah,
I think
but
to make
I'm
plays.
glad that they're finally getting organized play after all of the issues they've had with the game.
I think she has to fly 24 hours back.
Yeah, she was like it was
Yeah.
like a 20-something hour flight with layovers. So, Godspeed to
crazy.
her. I think she's leaving today.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't know, boys. I think that's all I have. Hey, thank you guys for being on the show. We will try to make this a regular thing. Obviously, we have our favorite loser here for the second time, but
Glenn's friend. Call me
Yeah.
Glenn's friend.
yeah, but we'll try to get Glenn on the show again once we
Well,
meet up
maybe we can
When
have
when
you,
he's
in New Zealand at Worlds.
we can have you guys for our Crave Shock podcast when it comes back.
Perfect.
all right.
Yeah,
That's the
sounds
plan.
good. Yeah, before we go, is there anything else that you guys want to say? Glenn, any people you want to thank in your acceptance speech of this glorious
That's it.
achievement?
Oh mate, just thanks to all the people back home who supported me along the way. It was great to see just how much support there was for me. Like it wasn't just the Grand Archive community. There was also like the Yu-Gi-Oh community, the Flesh and Blood community. It was great to like see like all the New Zealanders just back me.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
believe
that's
it.
awesome.
Thank you.
How about you, Jason?
I'd like to thank my wife for letting me go to these events.
Of course.
Otherwise,
She's a legend.
Yep, we just got to keep convincing her one event at a time. I'm running out of excuses though, so let's just keep on winning. That's my current excuse to keep going.
That is true. You've been doing a good job
If
of
I
making
can-
that excuse.
The rule is if I keep winning, I can keep going, and I keep manifesting these wins out of nowhere at this point. So
All right, yeah, that's all we have for you guys. Thank you for watching the show. Of course, you can catch us every Friday filming the show live, except for when we're in Las Vegas and other glorious places. You can also find the podcast from the previous week up on YouTube at 2 p.m. Fridays.
make sure you like and subscribe as well. These guys do very, very hard work all the
Thank you.
time for you guys.
Thank you.
All right, we will see you guys later.
Have a good one, guys.
See you. Woo. Steven,
Woo.
thank you.